What is going on, good people of YouTube? It has been a long time, but we are finally back making YouTube videos. Today, we've got our guest, Luke Cheney. Well, he's not even a guest anymore. At this point, this is like his third appearance, and he's just part of the show now. As you can see, we are in beautiful, beautiful San Francisco, and definitely not my garage. So, welcome back, Luke. How you doing, man?
Doing well. I love the picturesque background.
Yes, sir.
Definitely very realistic. Beautiful skyline. But no, we're doing well. Uh, some I don't know about sad news. Some news today. You meant. Well, I mean, you're wearing the jersey. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It pains me to say this, guys, but if you guys have been paying attention to the news today, after 17 years, the legend from Harvard, Ryan Fitzpatrick or Ryan Fitzmagic, has finally retired. Terrible news for sure. As a Dolphins fan, Luke, how was it having Ryan Fitzpatrick on your squad?
It was an adventure. You had your moments of Ryan Fitzmagic. Like the one game that comes to my attention was in 2020 when the Dolphins played San Francisco, and Fitzpatrick had I think a 4 touchdown, 300-yard game or 250-yard game and a blowout win over the 49ers. And you had some Fitz tragic moments mixed in there, but that's what made him unique. It's just his fun-loving spirit when it came to playing football. He had so many unique experiences with so many teams, including my team, the Dolphins. So he had quite a special career that is tough to match. He wasn't the best quarterback in the world, but he was definitely one of the more exciting ones. But yeah, he had a very long career, and I wish him the best with his retirement.
I heard he might go into broadcasting, so that'll be kind of interesting to see. Hopefully, I mean that's what I saw from. I think it was either Schefter or Rap Sheet that put it out. So he put a little TV box emoji next to one of his tweets. So I'm pretty sure that's hinting that maybe we'll see Fitzmagic on TV soon.
I would like to see that, man. We've seen a lot of quarterbacks make that switch to the booth. You got Tony Romo, you got Robert Griffin, the third in the college ranks. Tom Brady signed that lucrative contract, and he's not even retired yet. So, yeah, broadcast companies really like having someone who's been there before, someone who really knows the in and outs of football, especially as a quarterback, kind of as that color commentary guy, with Troy Aikman, Phil Simms, trying to think of former quarterbacks who are also color commentators. So yeah, I have no doubts that he would make for just a tremendous color commentator. He's a fun guy. He had some really, hilarious interviews over the years. So I definitely think he would make for a very good broadcaster.
Yeah, absolutely. So we honor Ryan Fitzpatrick. Of course, he did have those nice little shades and then that nice chest hair,
There you go.
whatever fucking fit he had. And then, of course, I do actually have a fake. I was actually Fitzmagic for Halloween one time, so I actually do have a fake beard. I just don't know where the hell it is. I was gonna wear it, but it looks better without it. And of course, I've got my glasses on at the moment because I know that last segment, some of my friends pointed out that I look super fucking Asian when I was talking the last time we talked about I think it was the Miami Heat game. But yeah, I'm gonna try to open up my eyes a little bit more. So,
Uh,
speaking of Miami Heat, Luke, fortunately, your squad was one game short away from making the finals. How's the loss, and what do you guys need to do to get back, hope to the finals next season?
Yeah, so despite not making the finals, this was one of my favorite seasons ever as a Heat fan. This was a very likable group, a group that really fit, that Heat culture bill of sorts. You had Jimmy Butler, you had Bam, and then you had those culture guys like Kyle Lowry, PJ Tucker, Caleb Martin, and then you had your undrafted players, those come up stories such as Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, who emerged as a starter throughout the end of the year and into the playoffs. And to give Max Strus credit, I thought he had a very good playoffs, better than what I expected, especially on the defensive end of the floor. And it was just a group that you love to watch, and a group that you could easily root for, especially as a Heat fan. I mean, Game 7 was unfortunate. Just to touch on that Jimmy Butler shot, because it has been a big time topic of conversation. I have no problem with that shot. He had 47 points in Game 6. He was playing amazing throughout the entire playoffs. He had 35 points up to that point, and I don't think Jimmy Butler or the rest of the Heat necessarily had the legs for another 5-minute period in overtime. If Jimmy Butler went to the basket, which he would have been going to the basket against Al Horford. I think people are forgetting that Al Horford's a pretty good defender, especially in the paint. That's not an automatic basket. I think some people are forgetting that. Jimmy Butler shot a pull-up three. He's been shooting pretty well throughout the entire playoffs. Or he was shooting pretty well throughout the entire playoffs. So I really had no problem with that shot. And as for the second part of your question about like what are some things that the Heat need to do this offseason, well, the way the roster is constructed right now, I think this is a second round team minimum for next year, minimum. But I think unless Bam Adebayo develops into some number one option type scorer, which I don't think he necessarily will, while Jimmy Butler is the player that he is, maybe 3-4 years down the road, Bam could develop like that. But frankly, I don't see it right now unless Tyler takes another leap as a shot creator, because while Tyler Hero is a very good scorer, I do have some doubts about his ability to create his own shot without the usage of a screen. And that deals more with his, his athleticism of sorts, which is something that is hard to necessarily improve on. It's just, if he's not that player to create his own basket, he's just not that player. So I think the Heat should really try to go all in on acquiring a third star, rather, or at least a second star on the perimeter that can just ease or take pressure off of Jimmy's back, scoring wise, someone who can create their own shot without the use of a screen, someone you can kind of turn to within the last 10 seconds of a shot clock and can go ahead and get a bucket. Some names that come to mind who could be available, someone like a Donovan Mitchell if Utah decides to, blow it up. Someone like a Bradley Beal, although if Washington decides to offer Beal Supermax, which would make Bradley Beal the highest paid player in NBA history, I don't think that's the right move for the Wizards, given the current state of the franchise. For Bradley Beal, I'm sure he would take that because he is a top 25, top 30 player in the league right now. And for him to get the highest paid contract in NBA history would just be absurd. But someone like a Zach LaVine possibly, and then more unrealistic, maybe someone like Damian Lillard.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, although I doubt that, to be honest, but maybe someone like Kyrie Irving. I don't know if you saw that whole, if you read that article from one of the beat reporters up in Brooklyn, but supposedly there's turmoil, in Brooklyn. Kyrie might not resign. Yeah, I'm sure you saw that, how the Nets are iffy on whether to sign Kyrie long term, and Kevin Durant hasn't spoken to the Nets since they're eliminated. So maybe Kyrie could become available. So I definitely see some guys that I guess fits that notion of a secondary bucket getter. And the Heat need to at least try their hardest to acquire one of these players, because I really think next playoffs or next season, given Jimmy Butler's rise in age and given how much he played, especially early in his career, I think some people forget that he was a Tom Thibodeau player. And Tom Thibodeau is known for absolutely just beating the shit out of his players minutes-wise. He didn't beat his players minutes-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, like Jimmy Butler in Chicago and Minnesota was playing like 38, 39 minutes a game, like some ridiculous regular season stuff.
Yeah.
It's just a lot. That's a lot of wear and tear that he had on his body early on. And Jimmy Butler right now is 32. He'll be 33 by the start of next season, I believe. And eventually he's not going to be able to do what he just did in the playoffs. So the Heat need to acquire another star to kind of, take some of the pressure off his back. I think the Heat should look into upgrading at the power forward position. And that's not at all to criticize PJ Tucker. I love PJ Tucker. I love what he brings in the defensive end of the floor. He is so key to Eric Spoelstra and to Miami's, versatile defensive switchy scheme. But at the end of the day, he's getting older. I believe he's 37. He'll be 38 to start next season or at some point next season.
Yeah.
You saw his body start to really wear down a little bit towards the end of the playoffs. Spoelstra said that the reason why he played so little in Game 7, I believe he only played 17 minutes, was because he was hurt. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But the wear and tear is starting to catch up to PJ Tucker. And I also think offensively, his impact has a little to be desired for, just because PJ Tucker always, gets called like a floor spacer, a stretch forward in a way. And that's true depending on where he is on the floor. Just like next time you watch PJ Tucker, pay attention to how the defenses play him when he's not in the corners, because he is absolutely money in those corners. People call him the best corner three-point shooter in the NBA. And I agree with that. He is a terrific corner three-point shooter. But defenses, frankly, don't care about him that much when he's above the break or when he's on the two wings. I remember seeing this one clip on Twitter where it was I think it was a pick and pop, and between I think it was with Kyle Lowry and PJ Tucker, and PJ Tucker popped to 25 feet, around that, I think it was that left wing above the break area for a possible three-point shot. And the defender kind of went with Kyle Lowry on that ball screen, kind of forgetting about PJ Tucker, just because he's really not a threat to shoot those wing or above the break threes. That's a shot that he's not particularly that great at, and it's a shot that he really won't take. Usually when you see him catch the ball on those spots, he opts for a dribble handoff or a quick ball screen instead of actually shooting that shot. So I think that unless you're moving PJ Tucker in a possible trade for a big-time star, which in that case I wouldn't mind, but I'd want to keep PJ Tucker. But if you can upgrade at the 4 and get someone who is a little bit more of a threat at all times on offense, I think that'd be great. If that player is also a PJ Tucker-like defender, which is very hard to acquire, then that'd also be great. A name that pops into my mind is Marcus Morris of the Clippers, although I don't know how I don't really see a scenario in which the Clippers would trade away Marcus Morris, just because the Clippers should be very good next year. And I anticipate Marcus Morris will be a key core player in that. I don't know if you saw this, Vince, but something about how the Bucks could potentially look into trading away Brook Lopez.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people, especially amongst the Twitter, there are a lot of people who always say, "Oh, Bam Adebayo is a power forward. He's a 4, not a 5." I think there's some truth in that, just given that Bam is a little smaller than your average center. He's only 6'9", and having a 6'9" center and only be like a 6'7" power forward does put you at a weakness height-wise when you're playing a team like the Boston Celtics, when they're running these two big lineups with Rob Williams and Al Horford.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to move Bam to the 4, you absolutely could, but you need a 5 who can space the floor, who can really shoot. And and you would also like that 5 to be a solid rim protector as well. And there's really not that many players who, I guess, kind of fit that. The Heat, Bam Adebayo was a 4 during that 2019-2020 season when Myers Leonard was at the 5. But I mean, just thinking of players who could, somewhat realistic players who could fit that ideal 5. Because I mean, obviously we're not going to include like the Karl Anthony Towns and the Joel Embiid of the world, but I guess like a Brook Lopez, that would be a terrific fit.
Yeah.
Miles Turner, that would be a terrific fit. Although Miles Turner would definitely cost a lot trade wise. But yeah, I mean, if he could acquire a Brook Lopez, I would have no problem moving Bam to the four. So I know I've been talking a lot, but that is how that would, I guess, be my vision for a dream Heat offseason that I think would at least give Miami a solid shot at competing for a championship next season.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I was actually gonna ask a question for a second there about Miles. What happened to Meyer? What happened to what's his name? Myers Leonard? Fuck, I forgot his name.
Yeah, yeah,
I was gonna ask what happened there, but then I totally remember what happened. So we're not gonna talk
yeah.
about that.
What is like what I honestly like I have no idea what he's up to now. I'm kind of curious because obviously he's not in the NBA for obvious reasons that we're not going to get into, but sure all the viewers know what happened there. Is he playing somewhere?
Maybe is he like in the G League or something? Or well, I don't know if he would be there, but
Nothing on Wikipedia. Let's check news. Yeah, I remember something from a month ago that said former Heat center Myers Leonard working his way back into the NBA. I doubt that's ever going to happen. So, maybe he can find a job. I don't know, maybe he can go overseas. I don't really know. But I mean, like he wasn't that good when he was in the NBA. Like it's like he was a bench warmer, especially so.
So Golden State versus Boston. I'm just gonna say it right now. As much as I definitely give credit to Boston, but just knowing the fans, that's honestly the only reason why I hate Boston. Like I love the past Boston. You talk about fucking Larry Bird, Kevin Garnett. I love watching highlights of those guys. I just don't like the Boston Celtics mainly because of their fans. So I'm just gonna say Warriors in 5 or 6. Fuck Boston. What's your predictions?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm a Heat fan. There's obviously been a lot of animosity between the Heat and the Celtics over the years. Also a Dolphins fan, and given that the Patriots are a division rival, as a Miami sports fan, there is definitely, like I said, some animosity between us and some Boston fans. But just as a team, I do like the Celtics. They have a lot of likable guys: Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. I know a lot of people are annoyed about Marcus Smart, but I mean, if Marcus Smart played on the Heat, I would absolutely love that guy. Al Horford is one of the most likable guys in the league, and he's someone that I really felt happy for. That I mean, just I don't know if you heard what happened with his family.
I actually haven't. So no, what
Yeah,
happened?
no. So I guess like his grandfather, I think, passed away a day after Game 6.
Oh damn.
I believe, yeah. So no, I mean, I'm really happy for Al. He's one of my, I guess, like more random favorite players in the NBA. He's built a successful career for way over a decade now. And then you have Rob Williams, who, in my opinion, is the best Celtic defender. He struggled a little bit on switches, especially towards the end of that series, but a lot of that is because he's hurt. He's pretty hurt. But I mean, you have guys like Derek White off the bench. Yeah, it speaks to how good the Celtics are defensively when the Heat were mismatch hunting Derek White, who is a very good defender, especially against shooters. Like the way Derek White was guarding Max Strus and Duncan Robinson throughout that entire Boston-Miami series, like the way he was just navigating screens and navigating these off-ball screens, it's just he's a good defender. He's a really good defender. Grant Williams is someone that was a meme initially during his first couple seasons in the NBA, but he's really developed into a solid contributor off Boston's bench. And Daniel Tice, he'll give you minutes every now and then. He's definitely a step below some of those other players. Then you have Peyton Pritchard as well, who isn't the best defender in the world, but if you need a bucket, especially off your bench, you can definitely turn to him. And then Golden State, they've played really well throughout these playoffs. The emergence of Jordan Poole in late March, or throughout the entirety of March and into the playoffs has been really special to watch. He's a very great player. He's a very special player. And he just gives that Golden State team an extra punch. Andrew Wiggins is someone that has just developed so nicely for the Warriors. He's just fit into his role as like a 3-and-D wing so well. And I'm really happy for him because, I mean, he had that reputation in Minnesota as kind of like an inconsistent defender, as a kind of a shot chucker. And that, I guess, notion of him has completely shifted. And he's now just a terrific role player for them. Kevin Looney has been amazing. He's been amazing.
I fucking love Looney. I'm so happy for that guy, man.
Dude, I mean, like he's a very good rebounder. He's a very good screener. He's a good passer, which is a little surprising, but he's a really good passer, especially in like the mid to low post. So yeah, I mean, it should be a very fun series. From a purely offensive firepower standpoint, I do like Golden State. Although I think Boston's switch 1 through 5 like defense will definitely pose some problems for Golden State. But yeah, I'll say Golden State in a hard 6 games. It's just Oracle Arena is such a hard place to play as a road team. And given that Golden State will have home court advantage, I could even foresee a scenario where it goes 7 and the home team literally wins every single game. It's just I find it hard for Boston to pull one out in Oracle Arena, but if they do, let me tell you, if Boston takes
I think it's the Chase Center now.
Oh my God, it is. How long has it been the Chase Center for?
2019 or 2020, something like
Serious?
that.
Serious? There's no.
Yeah.
I'm looking this up. Oh my God, have I been? When was the? Oh no!
I think it was like before. It was either before the bubble or during the bubble, something like that. I forgot.
From Oracle, dude, this is bad. Oh my God.
Why have you spoken or written any articles about Golden State and mentioned that they were an Oracle or what's up?
Yeah, I have not, thankfully.
Okay.
It says 2017 or open 2019, September 6, 2019.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Okay, well, Chase Center. God, wow. Okay.
The more you know. There you go.
The more you know. Fuck. The Chase Center is a very hard place to play. Yeah, no, I mean, but back to my, I guess, original point. If Boston could steal one of these first 2 games of the series, it's anybody's series, really. I mean, if you're Boston and you're heading back home because they're not going to steal both. Like they're probably not going to steal both. But if you can steal one, and it's a 1-1 series, you're feeling really good about yourselves.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So my prediction, I got just because I know it's gonna sound pretty Warriors biased, but I got Warriors win both at home. Celtics win game 3, Warriors win game 4, and then they finish off game 5. Mainly because I've got work in the future. I've got my second job coming up in the future, and I kind of just want it to end so I could go to my job without having to wait for a fucking finals game. But yeah.
I'll say Golden State wins games 1 and 2. Boston wins games 3 and 4. I think Golden State is a resounding game 5, and I think they edge one out in Boston in game 6. That's what that's the flow I'm gonna go with for this series, but I could easily see it going 7.
Yeah, and if it's at 7, they finish off in Chase Center. So.
Not Oracle, actually.
Yeah.
I wish, man. Wow, that is something. Chase Center. The more you know.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh, shit.
All right, man. Well, thank you again for talking with us. I'll let you go now. Yeah, let's go Warriors. Should be a good game tonight. I think what time is it? Oh fuck, it's just 4 o'clock. Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, just I mean, because what? So it's a 6 p.m. tip off for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's well, actually no, it's not gonna be it's gonna be like a 6:20 tip off. You know how it always starts really late, especially deep in the postseason. So yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see, man. It should be a fun game one.
Yeah, for sure. I fucking hate though that it's not TNT. That's the one thing that sucks because whenever Stephen A. Smith's on, I just turn the thing off. So
Dude, he's always yelling in these halftime shows.
yeah,
It's
him
it,
and like Greenberg's okay and Jalen Rose, I'll take those guys. But I mean Wilbon and Stephen A. Smith, man,
yeah.
those guys are so fucking annoying.
It's just funny, like the vault, like the voice discrepancy. Like the other three guys, I guess have their more normal speaking voices. Then just Stephen A. Smith, just way too loud. It's just funny, but I mean, it's the final. I don't know. I've always, you know, I guess connected, the finals with ABC. So I wish the halftime show was better though. I wish the halftime show was better, but we'll see.
Yeah. No,
Maybe,
we need DJ Khaled in there again.
oh God, no, please no, dude.
All right, man. I will let you go. Thank you again for watching us. Thank you again for joining us on the Astronomical Show. Yeah, see you next time.